We are live now. Says producer, associate producer, assistant producer. First day on the job. Priscilla. And we are live?
Yes.
What's up, everybody? We are live. 10p ATX Radio. And we're back with Godfrey, Berny. What up, motherfucker?
What up, man?
How you doing?
Good.
Normally, we don't have as many technical difficulties, but it's Priscilla's first day, and you know it's to be expected. Little hiccups here and there, and we're going live on YouTube for the first time, not Facebook.
Awesome.
It's kind of awesome, but I don't know what the engagement's going to be like. I don't have a lot of YouTube friends, but I got Facebook friends.
I was looking up this podcast on YouTube.
Nothing yet, right?
I can find it.
No, it's not on YouTube. It's about to drop.
So now we're on YouTube.
And then today, give me 5 right now, because we got on iTunes today. So this will be on iTunes shortly, but the first episodes have started to go up on iTunes. So most people are going to hear this not posthumously. I think that means after you died, but
Posthumously.
Posthumously, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most people just listen to this later, after this comes. But so we're supposed to scoot back like this so I can look at you. I'm going to take I'll leave my shoes on. And let's get to know Mr. Godfrey motherfucking Berny. Say a few things. Let's hear that voice of yours. Tell me where you're from.
So
what you're about.
I'm going to surprise you with something.
I'm ready for it.
I don't think you are.
Surprise the fuck out of me, homie.
See, a part of me was like, you know what? I should probably
tell me this before the show starts.
Before the show starts.
Now you're going to tell me on the air.
But I thought it'd be more fun if I just told you on the air.
I'm bracing myself, guys.
So,
all right. Fuck. Envelopes coming out?
Yeah.
So,
so a lot of people don't know this about me, but my parents do astrology. Like, they're pretty prominent astrologers in Mexico.
Your parents are prominent astrologers in Mexico, for those who can't hear your soft voice.
Yeah. So they've done astrology for like the past 40 years.
Wow.
And they've taught it to me ever since I was little growing up. So ever since I was like 5 years old. Some of the first memories that I have are them like teaching me what the signs mean, what the planets and different signs are.
It's pretty awesome, man.
So I actually have your astrology chart.
Oh shit.
Right here.
Do I want to see what's in that?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
Cool. Super cool.
So your parents were were you born in Mexico? I mean, I know you're an Aztec warrior, but where were you born?
I was born in Montana.
Montana, okay. Oh shit.
So I actually wrote some notes down about like what I saw in your chart.
Let's just go over I'll look at this in more depth.
But
I want to talk about you, man. But what you
dude.
Looks like a lot of numbers.
But anyway, so
triangles.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but the way that I explain astrology to people is that the universe is like a matrix. So there's every star and every planet has an energy that's corresponding to it, and when you're born, you breathe in the energy of the universe, and it leaves an imprint on you, so that you can go through life and experience different challenges and opportunities that are going to shape you to grow. So all of the red lines here are challenges that you need to experience in life in order for you to get to the next level you need to do. And all the green lines are opportunities and gifts that you've been given from past challenges that you've already overcome in previous lives.
Like a super video game.
Right.
I got I'm carrying with me some old school moves and technique, but I have some new demons to conquer.
Exactly.
Nice, man. You could,
so,
to me, I mean, it looks like a circle with some numbers on it. It looks very satanic a little bit, but that's just me showing my Christian upbringing. No, it looks really cool and interesting, but obviously I don't know what it means, so you have to explain to me, right, what these challenges might be, or opportunities, yeah. So
the three main things that people focus on is where the sun is when you're born, and that's what you assume to be your sign. So when people look up astrology, they look up where the sun was when they were born, their birthday, and then they think, oh, this is who I am. So when they read it, they're like, oh, this is a massive generalization that could fit a ton of people, and you don't really think it's accurate because it's really not, because it really is just a generalization. So what you need is you need the time that you're born, the place that you're born, and so like the exact location, the time, like 10 p.m., and the exact day. So without all of that information, you're
You
not
can't
going
get
to
a full
get an
picture.
accurate
Yeah.
location of where everything is. So what I saw with you is that your rising sign is Scorpio. So these are the three most important things I look at. I look at where the sun was, I look at where the moon was when you're born, and then I look at where your rising sign is. The moon represents like your mother. The moon represents your emotions. And the moon represents how you act with the people that you love. Okay? The sun represents your core, like your spiritual identity in this life. And then the rising sign represents the mask that you put on so that people perceive you a certain way, so that you protect that core of who you really are for only people that you care about. So the moon sign is how you act with people that you love. The sun sign is like who you feel you are, and then your rising sign is who you project out into the world.
So it's like ego is rising sign.
Yeah, but
It's kind of different.
yeah, it's a little bit different because it's just more complicated.
I gotcha.
Than just saying. It's
Cool,
ego.
man. All right, so the sun is who you think you are, or who you feel, who you really are.
It's who you feel you are.
Okay.
It's who you feel you are. So who you really are, who knows, man?
Yeah, I mean that's
This is
ever
just
changing.
this is just a blueprint for your life. So after like I go through a whole chart with somebody and I go through all their challenges and opportunities, something that I feel like is super important to explain to them is that this is only the puppet so the puppet master is the universe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the universe has like its lines attached to you, like strings. And it's causing you to act and feel certain ways without you being in control of it, right? But the point of all this is for you to like pass the challenges. That way this doesn't affect you anymore. That way like the energies in the universe and the emotions that you go through life, they don't affect you anymore, and you rise above that to where the strings are no longer taut on you, and you can kind of do and feel and act however you want.
So if you're like low level, the
With
strings
total
are
freedom.
tight, the strings are super tight,
Yeah.
and then you're kind of bound to the universe.
Yeah, you're bound to the grooves that,
You're stuck
that
in.
your life has already
Very
placed for
interesting.
you. So
You are
lack of
shocking me.
creativity.
That's some interesting shit, man.
It's really profound and cool stuff. So I wrote a bunch of stuff. You probably, maybe I shouldn't like go over everything.
Tell me more about
I
growing
wrote-
up learning this stuff. Did you ever have mixed feelings about it? How did you? Because I know like a lot of people that like they reject what their parents tell them. Your parents do this, you do that. Your parents like this, you like that. You know what I mean? So it's, but you bought it. You like, yeah, this is right. This is
Yeah, it just resonated with me. Like obviously as a kid you have the you kind of want to rebel against most things. Just growing up, it's a natural, because you want to explore, you want to figure things out for yourself. But just
I look for a
feeling-
complete commitment and have little patience with flighty partners.
what do you think? Is this true? What do you think? I don't know.
Oh man, there's some interesting things here. But so, what are you, Godfrey? What's your mood? Are you still controlled by the puppeteer? Or are you
Yeah,
floating above that motherfucker,
not yet, man.
like the Matrix?
One day.
So that's like what the Matrix is, then, huh? You can just kind of like get above it,
Yeah, and then you're in total
and you're
control
Neo.
of your emotional states and the way you project yourself and the way people perceive you.
So I'm glad you went down this road right away, man. What is reality to you? Like, okay, so the sun was there, the moon was there, the earth is here. Boom, you flash into existence.
Right.
Where the fuck did you come from? Why are you here? Other than to accomplish and get past these things, where are you going? what is this big charade game thing that we're in?
Dude, I don't know. But
but you understand some of the rules. You understand. You have a concept of how the thing works that you're in. You know what I mean? It's crazy, right? But it's hard really to say, well, what are we in? Reality or whatever it is. But what the fuck is that? And then the puppet master, these things set in kind of place, these heavenly bodies that are having these pushes and pulls on you, right? The hell are they?
I feel like we can only really get to the metaphor. So, for instance, Greeks and the Romans wrote a lot about the gods, and they describe the gods with very like vivid and powerful like personalities, with a lot of like visual description, and the way that
they personified the planets, basically, right?
Yeah, and the way they personify them. So, me looking back on it, I just kind of think of it being like, it's just their religion, or the quote-unquote religion of how like these gods had all of this effect and power over their lives and would just randomly kill people, was a way to pass on the story of astrology, because the exact personalities that the gods had in Greek and Roman mythology are the exact attributes that each of the planets have, or supposedly have.
Okay.
Right? So
they knew what was up, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think
they were able to, they personified the puppet master, which is the heavenly bodies. God knows what they are.
Yeah, man. But honestly, beyond like knowing challenges I need to overcome in life, and like gifts that I've been given and opportunities that I have, I have no idea.
Can you find insight as to what those challenges are? I mean, can I look at this chart?
Oh yeah, for sure.
So can you give me one, maybe? Let's talk about. It seems like a very symmetrical graph you're showing me right here.
Nah, it's different for everybody. Yeah. So, yeah, all these charts are totally different. So, with you, a pretty interesting aspect, maybe not necessarily a challenge, but it's an interesting aspect that can be challenging, is the fact that your moon is conjoined with Pluto. And Pluto represents the occult things that are uncut, that are not yet found, things that are uncovered, the subconscious mind. Moon represents your emotions. So you're very emotionally attached to like the subconscious mind, and it gives you an ability to be able to read people. And
interesting.
So here's the thing. So like, but the moon and like we can or not the moon, but Pluto represented Hades. So Hades was the god of the underworld, which is the subconscious mind and all these things. So it also, so that's like the emotional, ethereal representation of the moon and Pluto, but physically and the challenges in your life can personify themselves to be like more traumatic things that happen to you that cause you to be able to read people well, right? So you can have, so like the moon represents like your mom, right? So you could have had a very powerful interaction with your mom growing up. Could be positive, could be negative. But
that helped develop the insight that we're talking about. Interesting. I was just having this conversation about being able to read people.
Really?
It's so weird. Literally like 30 minutes ago. Yeah, man. Pretty fucking crazy. You blew my mind, Godfrey.
Cool.
Kind of shocked me a little bit. Interesting, Godfrey.
A weird thought that I had talking about this whole subject is I was thinking about why time, or supposedly, right? Why supposedly time and space are connected with like quantum physics. Like why is time and space part of like the same plane? And how is it that supposedly if you go, as fast
really
as
fast,
speed of light, things slow down?
How does that work?
And it's like, okay, so does that mean that because we're in physical embodiment, we experience time and space? So if we leave and we're no longer experiencing time or space, then maybe that's why we need to go on this journey to grow, because once you escape time and space, you're no longer able to grow. You just are what you are.
Yeah, you're kind of like infinitely that.
Right. So there's no room to become more if you're not.
That is one of the most powerful things I've ever heard, Godfrey. It's crazy to think about that if you're like a soul and you escape time and space, that you're just kind of in an infinite pause, because then you don't have time or space to work within.
Yeah. And
you can't, move from one thing to the next or have the challenges that we face here to cause you to grow. So once you get ultimate God level, maybe you can get there. But in the meantime, you got to do your time in time and space. You just battle it out, man. Battle it out. Godfrey's laughing. That's a good sign, man. I work really hard to make Godfrey laugh. I don't know why you're laughing, though. Dude, so do you ever read someone's chart and be like, I'm in love with you? Or do you ever read someone's chart and you're like, get that person out of, like, can you see something and go, I don't like them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
just like a medical, yeah.
But, so for instance, like my parents will do a lot of relationship compatibility, and they'll see people that are about to get married, and they'll tell them,
hey, no.
You guys probably shouldn't get married.
No, man.
And
they don't want to hear that.
They don't want to hear that. They still do. And maybe like 6 months later, they go back and be like, yeah.
It was those damn sorcerers from Mexico. Oh my gosh. So man, that's a cool. I know I've hung out in the sauna with you. I think like everyone has.
Yeah.
And I've heard you talk about this topic, man. But to see it at this level and see this depth is pretty cool. To hear you, I didn't know you were like raised on it, man. That's nuts.
Oh yeah.
Nuts. So, have you found that these charts are very accurate? Do you find that, like, it's like a map?
It's incredibly accurate. Well, I suppose if I didn't have the parents that I had, I wouldn't think that. But because I do, and I see how much they're able to write about one person just with like a chart, I've seen them write like, they could write literally
volumes,
pages just on one, and the depth that goes into like the symbolism of the chart is really intense. Like there's degrees, so like if you're within a certain degree of the planet to a sign, that means something totally different than if it was like 10 degrees away, and each degree means something different. So there's an incredible amount of information,
infinite possibilities, infinite opportunities in incarnation.
But I think understanding this kind of made me realize that it wasn't necessarily super important to get too like boggled down and like trying to. I mean, it's cool, right? Because I heard someone talking about how we don't really have much of an identity to go off of. It really closes us in into who we are, and we don't have a lot of time to build like
TV,
who we
man,
are.
that builds I mean, honestly, dude, I grew up in the 80s as a kid watching Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Those are like the role models, the identities I think that my generation was bought into. It's crazy when you, like, that's the kind of, I don't know. Sorry, if you weren't going there, I wasn't sure where you were going.
No, yeah. So how do you feel like that influenced the way you saw yourself?
I think just like Barbie dolls and, He-Man toys, it can create like a false ideal. You know what I mean? That can create some like inferior opinion of yourself. You can reflect, I'm not fucking as jacked as Arnold. Who the hell is? You know what I mean? But, look at people nowadays.
Yeah.
Look what it did. Look at the Arnold movies in the 80s, and now everyone's jacked. Way more people use steroids. Way more people are in, like at Muscle Beach, dude. It's a different world. So obviously, whatever that it had an effect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People are fucking getting yoked up, and they're trying to look like. People are way bigger than the pro bodybuilders are way bigger than Arnold now. You know, it's just like you
Right.
kind of like help shape the culture. And I feel like that happens, that was with me. Then you got these kids watching Miley Cyrus's and those kinds of things. So I think all those things have an effect. Kind of getting into that conspiracy realm, man. I think, using this to really find some identity, or really introspection, I think, is the way to find more identity. Definitely not watching the media. 'Cause I think that media is all about wiping this away and just instilling a mass hypnosis and a mass consumer mindset.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the cool thing about this is I could tell you 1,000 things about yourself, but as soon as I would tell you those things, you would already know it to be true. I wouldn't be telling you new information. You could have found out those things about you had you just been introspective and meditated on
Introspection. Dude, you hear about countries that have their kids meditate at a young age? It changes the game, man. I don't know what we're doing over here. We encourage our kids to play football at a young age, put on a helmet, run your head into that kid. I'm teaching these kids in here how to kill people. What is going on, man?
Could be meditation.
To me, I mean, I just don't, honestly, I'm rolling, especially with, I got a blue belt that's got some skill, man. I'm zoned out, but playing a game. I'm playing whatever, I mean, it's a blast.
Yeah.
I definitely have a lot of good thoughts when I'm doing my jiu-jitsu.
No, it's totally, I'm totally obsessed.
Dude, we got way carried away on this. I'm about it, but I want to hear more about you. You are a blue belt. Fucking got that recently. Congrats, brother.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very honored to provide that to you. You did a lot of work for it. You put in the time. You overcame obstacles. You went out on the mats and competed and crushed. Yeah, man, it's been a pleasure to just watch you progress. You develop your own style, your own, people know some moves around the gym just because of you. You become a specialist in a couple ways. You obviously got a lot of room to work, and ton of holes in your fucking game. I'm not going to sit here and kiss your ass. You still ain't got a purple belt. But man, it's been fun to see you get that blue, and it's fun to watch you roll, man. I always enjoy having you in class. So does everybody else. And then after class, you're out in the clubs, man. You're on the clubs, and tell us about that, dude.
Just meeting girls.
Let me back up. You used to be in the clubs as a pickup artist, I heard. I heard
Who said that?
someone in the locker room.
Who said that?
Someone maybe wrote it in some lipstick. I don't know.
Nah.
Godfrey's a pickup artist.
Okay.
Do you know Steve Maeda from way back?
Yeah. Okay, so I worked with Steve because I worked for a company called Love Science. And so we took out guys and we helped them achieve relationship goals.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Steve's been on the show. He is a relationship consultant and a former pickup artist, I think himself to some extent. A recovered awesome dude. Check out his podcast.
A recovered awesome.
Yeah.
He's still awesome.
No, he's overcame some addiction. That's what I meant to say. He's
okay.
so he's had some really cool stories in that podcast.
Yeah.
Steve Maeda. So you know Steve from back in the day.
Yeah, man.
No, before you did jiu-jitsu, because Steve's a student here as well.
Right.
So you guys did you maintain contact, or was it like, hey, there you are on the mats?
Yeah, we maintain loose contact, but so I met Steve when I was 18.
Oh wow. So what are you now?
Steve when I was 18. I'm 27.
Damn, you're a young buck,
27.
young Godfrey.
But
We have Instagram over there?
Yes.
So you're 18 years old. There's no Instagram. You got to go out in the real world to pick up girls. You can't just slide into DMs, like a bunch of photos, scroll way down. That's how the kids. But you had to go out there and be somebody.
yeah, so I never really considered myself a pickup artist, but I did work for a company that was, because I was always really into psychology and really into human development and figuring out how to achieve goals and how to help people overcome their own obstacles.
Hell yeah.
And I used astrology a lot while I was doing that. And so I would meet guys and I would help them achieve whatever relationship goals they're trying to get. And my whole mindset behind that was, and I created a whole system behind it, but my whole mindset behind that was, but you need to...
Wait.
Is it working?
Now go.
You need to experience whatever you think you want. Whatever goals you
You
have.
need to experience whatever you think you want.
Yeah, if you have a desire
But
to
don't
do
let
something-
someone else tell you what you think you want. That's probably the caveat there, right? It has to be what you really want.
Right. If you have like a inner desire to achieve something, or you think you want something, you need to try to get it.
It's got to be a real burn.
As long as you're not hurting someone else. That's something that I think is important in order for your own development. Even if it's something that could be, could be a distraction, right? So like if I met a guy and a guy was like, yeah, I just want to sleep with a bunch of girls. I would know, okay, well, that's obviously not what you really want. And that's probably a distraction for a lot of your more important goals in life. But let me help you try to hit, a few of those points and see how you're feeling later on. And usually, I think like 3 of the guys that, it was a group of 3 of us that were coaching. It was me, a guy named Chris, a girl named Isa, and another guy named Jason were part of like this coaching. And I 4 out of the 20 guys got married pretty soon after.
Jesus.
So obviously like their goals weren't, they just evolved.
To just rip through the chicks.
Yeah, they just evolved. They realized, okay, so I'm hooking up with a bunch of girls. This isn't actually what I really want. What I really want is someone that I can build a life with and that will evolve and grow with me. And that's more important. So basically, the system that I kind of laid everything into is I base it off the triune brain theory. And the triune brain theory is actually pretty badass. So it explains that you have a reptilian part of your brain, a mammalian part of your brain, and your cerebral cortex. Your reptilian part of your brain is concerned with all of your like physical desires, like sexual desires, hunger. Every time you look at yourself in the mirror, that's reptilian brain activity. And you have the mammalian brain activities, which is all of your like emotional desires and wants. So anything that's emotional, that's coming from your mammal brain. I call it like the doggy tail waggle part of your brain, because all dogs, all mammals have emotions and they experience, and you can see them. And then you have the cerebral cortex, which humans have, which is like the logical, intellectual part of your brain. Okay, so where you have the logical and you have the emotional part of your brain, if you're looking at a Venn diagram here, logical, emotional, where they intersect, that is the logical explanation of the emotional world, which is psychology. It's logically explaining emotions.
Okay.
And then where you have logical and physical, that's the logical explanation of the physical world. Where that intersects is science, because science is the logical explanation of the physical world. And then the bottom part of the Venn diagram. Yeah,
so good.
And they're super accurate. So then you have emotional, and then you have physical over here. So the emotional explanation of the physical world, where that intersects, is art. So you have art, psychology, and science. These are the 3 main pillars of our society. But something that the triune brain theory doesn't really go into at all is where's the place where all of these 3 parts intersect. So you have science, art, and psychology.
Jiu-jitsu.
It all becomes
right
jiu-jitsu.
in the fucking middle of that.
No, it's spirituality.
It's what?
Spirituality.
Oh, spirituality.
So whenever,
it's close.
So if you go to church, this is what a lot of churches will do, but they'll make you like
they'll give you a little bit of science. They'll give you a little bit of art. They give you all those pieces.
Yeah. They give you all the emotions, right? So you sing, you synchronize with people, you get up, you dance, you clap together. This is a physical synchronization with a logical synchronization, because there's like logical readings that you learn morality from, and then there's emotional synchronization from the singing, obviously, but then the physical synchronization from like doing things in unison. right? So all powerful organizations will create these types of synchronizations, maybe not purposefully, but just because these things
Maliciously.
work. Just because these things work. So
Sadistically.
when you synchronize with these three forces, it creates like a spiritual experience within yourself. So my whole system that I helped guys understand was when you meet someone that you're able to synchronize with in a physical way, when you're able to synchronize with like in an emotional way, you're able to synchronize with them in an intellectual way, you guys are thinking on the same level and can play back and forth, then that is when you create
Go on.
that's when you create like a really powerful like spiritual connection with them, and that's like the kind of relationship that you'd want to have, or I would think you'd want
Yeah,
to have.
a meaningful relationship.
Meaningful.
So most people want that. Most people, but on the surface, you're saying you hear a lot of guys are just like, I want to be a pickup artist. But deep down inside, most people want something meaningful and for real. Are there people that just want the other thing and they don't even want meaning, like genuinely don't want anything meaningful?
Probably.
They exist out there. There's got to be. There's got to be the bell curve.
Yeah, like I would do interviews with guys before I decided whether or not I wanted to coach them. And one guy, I'm not gonna say who they were, but they told me that after they hook up with a girl, they don't even want to see them anymore. They don't want to see them. They don't want to touch them. They don't want them around them.
That post-coitus, what they call it. Eddie has a term for it, man. Eddie used to put out memes about that shit. Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I don't know.
PostNut Syndrome is what Eddie called it.
But
Yeah, PostNut
I'm not sure
Syndrome.
what this means.
It's the real deal.
Explain it. What is PostNut Syndrome?
You gotta get the fuck out of there right away. You have the sudden urge to run.
Oh man, that's messed up.
I'm not saying
That's
it's.
wrong.
I'm just saying people have that. We've heard about it.
Cool.
So you're out there reading people, helping people, consulting people. You've been kind of doing your own thing for a while now, huh?
Yeah.
Any real jobs ever? Like
Worked at
or
Radio
you had to
Shack.
be locked down and told to sit somewhere?
I worked at Radio Shack for a little bit.
Radio Shack.
I've been fired from a lot of jobs.
You didn't want to cut your hair?
No.
Yeah, fuck that.
No.
So now you are very much independent.
Yeah.
You do what the fuck you want. Ain't nobody taking your job because you run the shit. You run Puka Social.
Yeah. That's another one of something that I'm passionate.
You're into real estate too, from what I understand, right?
Yeah.
But hookah's your passion.
Hookah. I really got into hookah, man.
What do you like about hookah so much, man? Why do you just love it?
I don't know.
I mean, that's always cool when I see you at the club. You got the hookah. I love it then, but man, I couldn't. Every day, I don't know if I can handle that.
I think what it was is I worked on a few other different types of businesses, and I got really into hookah at a time in my life where I was being more introspective. But I was going to these hookah lounges, and even though like I was feeling very recluse at the time, I was making a lot of friends, and it just kind of like the community. And it's not something that we really experience too much anymore with like technology, but just going somewhere and like having a place to chill, but it's also a very easy environment to meet other people.
And you don't have to drink. That's
And you
another
don't
thing.
drink.
You could just smoke the hookah.
Yeah. It's still you're still cognizant.
Yeah, the alcohol just changes the game. If you're trying to stay in a certain state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I originally got into it because of that, just the friendship, meeting people, you know.
But now it's
Every
a
week you go
popular
out.
item at the bars in downtown Austin. Where are you at right now?
Yeah. I'm at Clearport, and I'm at Rio nightclub.
Clearport was a cool spot. I went there for the first time after on an Invitational 5. And God, that was just the other day.
Dude,
Man,
that was super fun.
On Invitational 5 was
That
awesome.
was really cool.
Yeah, we went to Clearport, and it was like it reminded me of like a post-apocalyptic club. Just a big fucking open room with like concrete everything and like a couple balconies.
But it was
and like smoky lasers everywhere.
it was open to the sky though too.
Oh,
so
and it's wide open. Yeah,
Yeah,
like there
yeah.
was a building there, but the
Yeah.
Terminators killed it or destroyed it.
there was very little roof.
And then you're down at Rio, and Rio's pretty swanky, man. Rio's got multiple levels.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's your main spot, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I always enjoy hanging out with Godfrey, man. The crew fucking loves it. Oh, shit. Godfrey, we got a late start, and I have class right now. So I gotta
Let's go to class.
Go teach fucking the gentle art we call it. Man, ain't nothing gentle about it, guys.
I want to learn, bro.
We gotta go do this. It's F day. I'm gonna fuck it up for the flies.
Dude. Yo, thanks so much.
I
for,
think that you need to come back, man, because
having me.
there's a lot more we need to talk about, dude. We got
Yeah.
caught up in predicting the future, which I guess is pretty
That's right.
awesome.
It's a good time.
Everybody out there, catch up with Godfrey if you're in Austin at Rio or at
Or hookasocial.com.
pukasocial.com. Yeah. One more time.
Hookasocial.com.
What's your Instagram?
Hookasocial, the second O is a zero.
Is a zero, yeah. Pukasocial.com. All right, guys, we're out. War! The beautiful Priscilla.
Hello.
Oh.
Cool.